Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, where today we've got the Masahiro the Bell Monk fragment event. If you want some fun behind the scenes, two fun behind the scenes nub things, we've got not the usual dog, we've got another dog, Winston the Cocker Spaniel. Yeah. So my sister had her second baby yesterday, so we're minding their dog. A fucking nightmare. Oh my god, this is a demon dog from hell. No, he's not that bad, but he's not the best. He's not the worst. But yeah, he's needy. Let's put it like he's very needy. Anyway, let's dive into the Masahiro the Bell Monk fragment calendar. By the way, I will say you can check out my testing of this fusion champion. I have been thoroughly impressed by him. To me, I went into it thinking this guy looks really solid. I walked out of it going, actually, even my expectations slightly exceeded. I'm like, yeah, he's really genuinely solid. Great healing, great debuffs. Is a bit of a long cooldown on the revive, but honestly, like you can build it around that quite easily because he's quite survivable. He's got crazy base HP. He heals a ton. Yeah, I like him a lot. I think he's very helpful. I don't think he's a must-have. You don't need him, but I think he's certainly worth picking up for probably a lot of players, to be honest. And definitely, the big thing for me is if you want to farm stage 21 of Shadowkin, this is the guy. This is the guy. But check out the showcase, yeah, if you want to see more. So going into, I should also mention this is early schedule. So Plarium gave us early access to this fragment event calendar. So it is possible that some of this stuff may change by the time it goes live. And thanks to Plarium for marking this as well. We've got 20 from the tournament leaderboards. Sorry, I've got the wrong brush. Let's just mark that off. Goodbye. So 20 are gone, which interesting means there's actually 115, which is somewhat unusual. So you can skip 15, basically. So minus 15. Put an exclamation mark. So you can skip 15 and still complete this fusion, which is going to give you some flexibility, which is pretty cool. Now, taking a quick gander at it, though, initially, the first thing I'm seeing over here is the Summon Rush the Champion Chase. And I just forgot the other thing I need to show you. But we'll cover this. We'll cover these summon events, and then I'll show you the other fun behind the scenes thing. I don't want to move my chair and crush a nice Cocker Spaniel tail over here. We've got to be careful. But the Summon Rush, 20 fragments in there. It's quite substantial. Now, unfortunately, we don't know exactly how those fragments break down. Will it be 5 and 15? Probably. Might be 10 and 10. I don't know. Assuming it's 5 and 15, this might be a likely spot where people skip 15. Yeah, especially if you went for all the Mavara stuff, who is another extremely good reviver. You might be very low on shards, so skipping 15 fragments from a Summon Rush might be decent at the start. Now, of course, with the Mavara fusion, that one kind of bit us in the butt, right? Because the Champion Chase tournament ended up being really bad. Jumping over to look at that, there's 15 regular fragments in there. The 10 green ones are from tournament leaderboard, so forget about it, unless you're rich, right? So you're looking at 15. So this would be another potential one to skip. This is probably 2x Voids. That's what we're due, right? We had 2x Sacreds during the Mavara fusion. We had 2x Ancients then after the Mavara fusion during the Embrus Titan event. 2x Voids should be up next. There's no guarantee. It's the most likely thing. It's not guaranteed. We'll put a question mark there. 2x Voids is okay. It's not so bad. I mean, that's when most people are going to be pulling Void shards anyway to, maximize the amount of Void legendaries. And indeed, early, mid-game, even late game, the amount of Void epics you're getting, all those champs are very useful. So 2x Voids, I think, is a fine time to pull. But yeah, what can you do to make this a bit easier? You can do a few things. You could obviously stockpile fragment champions. So you might, for example, get Anaxia. Is a fairly likely one. If you're maxing out Grim Forest hard, you should be getting Anaxia during this. You might get this new guy if you've got lots of friends or if you've got lots of alternate gaming machines on which you can run separate accounts and pretend to be your own friend. From the new referral program, the Tolarian Homecoming. There you go. So there's that. Yeah, you can obviously stockpile any permanent fusions, any login champions you're getting at that time. Broadmaw fusions are a big one. I would highly recommend saving all these rare champions whenever you pull them, and you might pull some from Void Shards. Save them up so you can fuse up Broadmaws. That's 350 points right there for every champion chase tournament. Remnant summons is the thing too. All that. Just grinding champs in campaign, pulling your mysteries, grinding them up, all that stuff. Lots of ways you can deal with it. So yeah, I would be more inclined to skip 15 in the summon rush, to be honest. But it's going to depend on you and your shard situation. So if you're saying, well, Nub, I've got loads of sacred shards stockpiled, I can complete the summon rush pretty easily. I'm kind of dodgy for 2x voids. I'm kind of dodgy for 2x ancients. If they do a surprise 2x primals, that's dodgy as well. I don't know about a champion chase. I've got nothing stockpiled that can help with that. Then yeah, maybe you go for the summon rush instead. Generally, I would say minus 15 here is probably what you go for, and you do the champion chase. Probably. But it's there's pros and cons to each one. Oh, let me show you the next. What is this? Holy, wait, let's get rid of me for a second. What is this going on here? Let's check it out.
Do these 4 puny contestants have what it takes to survive in my trivia dungeon? Ha 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 ha! Tune in to find out.
Yep, cool.
Do these 4 puny contestants...
Not again. Stop. Stop. Yep. Do I own this suit? No, I don't. I don't have the suit. Didn't get to keep the suit. I genuinely don't know what they did with that suit after. But yeah, the trivia dungeon is coming out on the 8th of May. We filmed this. It was back in like December, I think. Start of December last year. It's been a while. But yeah, if you saw the trivia dungeon last year, it was genuinely super fun. I was a contestant then. This year should be really, I think it should be a ton of fun. So check it out on the 8th of May. I think you'll find, I have a short up on the channel. I guess I'll put it in the description of this video as well. A link to the premiere. So you can watch it when it goes live, and you'll see a countdown for when it's going to go live as well. But yeah, it's just a light-hearted, fun thing to watch. Test out your raid knowledge as well, I guess. But yeah, pretty cool. Right, coming back to the more pertinent stuff for here. A couple of easy bits. Classic arena, very simple, straightforward. Farm your stuff. Are you on track for your points per day to actually reach the threshold? Honestly, if you're in gold classic arena where most people are, it's easy. If you're in silver, it's probably even doable. If you're in bronze, probably not. But if you're in bronze, it's probably too early for you to consider tackling a fusion. Anyway, these tend to be the easiest part of any fusion. We've got, let's go over to the gear enhancement, because there's 3 of them, quite a lot of these. So this is something to watch out for. Gear enhancement. Each one, you're looking at 15 to 20 million silver, roughly. Silver. It's approximately that. It depends again how well you're prepared. Like you could have a bunch of gear sitting at 12 or level 15 ready to put up to 16, and it's not so bad. Rolling up accessories is a lot more expensive than rolling up standard gear slots. But yeah, basically all you got to do, you got to just save your silver, only ever upgrade gear during the gear enhancement events, and as soon as you get the necessary fragments, you stop and you start saving up your silver for the next one. So yeah, keep the purse strings drawn tight, only spend your silver to roll up gear during these specific events to get through. It sounds bad on paper. In reality, it's not that bad. You're generating a bunch of silver constantly as you're playing and completing the different tournaments as part of the event. So there is that. We once again, for the second time, let's do this in red because it does stand out. Gear Hunters. Let's go now to one of the worst events. Gear Hunters. And once again, we've got a fairly suspicious mid-fusion gap. This is not CVC. We've just had CVC, and this will be CVC over here, but probably not personal rewards. It's probably just a standard CVC. We just finished a personal reward CVC like over here, right? So this is probably non-PR. Let's put in non-PR over here. Probably non-PR. which means it's not that important to pull Masahiro during the CVC. You can save him up for the next champion chase that's part of an important fusion or whatever. You could save him up for the next Person Reward CVC and then book him during the Person Reward CVC. Get tons of books. Lots of different ways you could deal with him, but it's something that's worth bearing in mind. This should be just a siege, but I think it's quite suspicious. There's quite a big gap in here. I would be expecting some sort of extra mid-fusion event. It could be a Hero's Path or a Deck of Fate. They've been enjoying this recently, dropping some bonus event during the CVC. I could easily see this be a Deck of Fate with Gear Hunters in there. And to be honest, we've just got a bunch of new champs. There's now a whole bunch of new Argonites. You know, like, they could easily do some sort of guaranteed champion from a Deck of Fate. It's been a little while, and it seems like we're not getting a big in-game event, maybe not until next month from the looks of it, right? Like we had the Turtles, we had Alien versus Predator, then we had the Assassins pretty back to back. It was pretty intense. Seems like we're in a bit of a lull. I am expecting some big event with an event dungeon, themed champions. I'm expecting that. I kind of thought it was going to be this month, to be honest. I think it's probably next month. Will it be an IP collab? Something like Mortal Kombat is the one that most people seem intrigued by as an option, or would it be just a raid theme thing like they did Chaos Awakes last year? I think. I don't know. So we'll see. Who knows? But yeah, there's an ominous Gear Hunters shaped gap here. I could easily see this be like Gear Hunters plus it could be champion training. To be honest, well, no, it wouldn't be champ training because champ training kicks off down here. It could be Gear Hunters plus pulling Soul Stones or Gear Hunters plus shards. Who knows? Soul Stones possibly. We'll see if something drops in there, but there is a suspicious gap to me. Let's touch on the champ training since we just mentioned it. We've got a champ training tournament and then we've got a champ training event. Lots of fragments in each. The tournament does have the extra 10, but again, realistically, very difficult to actually win that one. Sorry, I used this color already. Let's go in with a dark green. Yeah, let's go with dark green. For those, these are just energy sink, grinding campaign, using your brews. You can use books for the champion training tournament. So if you've got you didn't need to use your books during CVC, personal rewards, good time to use some books to book up key champions, get some champ training points for the tournament. Books don't work for champ training events. So yeah, there you go. 2 of those big energy sinks. We'll look at the energy path breakdown towards the end. The final thing to look at then are the 4 dungeons. We've got the Spider tournament, then a Fire Knight tournament. I would say these, you can use food in Spider. Like if you got a crazy Marius, you can solo Spider with Marius. That sort of thing. You can do it with Arix. There's a few champions you can do it with. Then we got Ice Golem, then Dragon. Now I'd say the key breakpoints are going to be the Gear Hunters breakpoints. So that is over here. That's where Gear Hunters is. And then it continues over here and it ends here. So this chunk, again, we've got this ominous gap in the middle where it's like, not much value going on right here. But yeah, Ice Golem, very valuable during Gear Hunters. Dragon, very valuable during Gear Hunters. I think they're not great dungeons, honestly, for running with Gear Hunters. So this Gear Hunters 2 is going to be a little bit of a pain. Ice Golem is notoriously slow. Dragon is not. Obviously, Fire Knight is then also slow. Spider is super quick. Dragon is medium, but yeah, there's not much gear. Unless they do a bonus speed event, there's not much good gear in Dragon to get. Now, Gear Hunters 1, so Spider, this is going to be very easy. And yeah, so there you are. This Fire Knight is just in the middle of nowhere, right? So Gear Hunters 1 entirely overlaps Spider. It is the best dungeon to farm by far. Even if you can't do Spider well, you should at least be able to come into normal Spider and farm stage 10. It is bugged. It's been bugged since the game released. It's been 6-7 years now. I don't think they're not going to fix it. They don't care. Basically, stage 10, it drops more higher level gear than it should. The drop table is just like there's an incorrect number input into the gear table or something, which makes it more efficient per energy than it should be. So you can farm Spider stage 10. It's very easy. And yeah, it means you can do Spider tournament. You're not going to get any good gear really out of stage 10. It's going to be rubbish, but you can do it. You can do the tournament. So yeah, I think Gear Hunters 1, super easy. Gear Hunters 2, kind of a pain. And then Fire Knight is in the middle of nowhere with no Gear Hunters overlapping. Most of Ice Golem, no Gear Hunters overlapping. Leads me to this big question. What is going to happen next week? I really do feel like there's a huge gap for something to happen there. So for your energy path, I would say fairly straightforward. We're going to start off on Spider. When Spider's done, we're going to come down to Champ Training. We're going to do Champ Training. You can grind Campaign as well. That is an okay source of some Gear Hunters points, grinding Campaign. We're going to do Champ Training, finish that off. Actually, I think you can run that really to the end. When that's done, come over to Fire Knight, run that. And then there's like this big suspicious gap where nothing's happening. Woo! Then we're going to come down to Ice Golem, presumably do Ice Golem. Then I would say you're going to come down to the Champ Training event, do that, finish that off, then come to Dragon. In fact, you know what? You could go two ways. You could either go to Dragon and finish it, or you could just hard focus on Gear Hunters, and then both of these paths would join back up over here, and you'd finish off the Dragon tournament. So I think that is an option. You could absolutely go and just farm a bunch of Spider to finish Gear Hunters event 2 quickly, and then go back to finish Dragon at a more leisurely pace where there's not much happening here. The one danger could be, this could be if they surprise drop a second personal reward CVC. You really don't want to farm Dragon during a personal reward CVC. It gives far less points than the other dungeons do, because it's the easiest dungeon, right? Well, Gear Dungeon is the easiest Gear Dungeon. So that sort of depends on this, if it's non-personal rewards or not. If it is personal rewards, you really don't want to do this. But yeah, I think it's a reasonable gamble to take. But once again, it comes back to this big mystery event in the middle. And this is Siege up here too, by the way. That is Siege up there. But yeah, start off on Spider. It's not today. Yeah, it is today. I've lost track of the days. The dogs. Oh, man. Yeah, so Spider today, blitz it, working on Spider and Champ Training. You can do both a bit back to back, dip between the two, but when you've done Spider, hopefully you'll be done the Gear Hunters as well. Make sure that's a priority. We'll put that in as a priority too for obviously all of this stuff here. Like that. So really, again, the key thing is use Spider to finish Gear Hunters, possibly some campaign, but you know, be careful. Go on to Champ Training once you've completed the Spider Gear Hunters combo, or finish off Gear Hunters casually with campaign, but be certain you've got Gear Hunters in the bag. Champ Training, get it done. Fire Knight, and we'll see what comes up next. And yeah, then you're into doing your Ice Golem, your Champ Training, and then finishing off Gear Hunters 2, finishing off Dragons. Straightforward. I think this one looks okay. Obviously, I'm still traumatized by the Mavara fusion and then mixing up the shard events and making it far more difficult. Then it did make the Titan event a lot easier than it would have been for me, at least. But yeah, I mean, there is that. So I guess it balanced out in the end. But this Summon Rush to me looks fairly expensive. I mean, to give you some context, where am I? I have 6 Sacreds right now. Like, I am not in a good spot. And that's me maxing. I guess I'm going to get another one from CVC in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I think we're winning. Yeah, we're winning. We're winning. Yeah, so another Sacred from that. But, like, I've been maxing out the Sacreds, and I'm in a bad spot. So Summon Rush is, I think, looking a bit dodgy. I think looking ahead towards Champion Chase is a good idea. And again, my little tip would be, even if you're getting some of these green guys from, let's say you're doing Champ Training, you're pulling lots of green shards, leveling up champions, fuse up these, really hunt out these ones from your Void shards, never feed these guys, and try stockpile those Broad Maws to make those events a bit easier. So there you go. That is my guide through this fusion plan. I'll update you guys as we know. Like, I'm sure I would be shocked if there isn't some surprise mid-fusion. So I'll update you when that drops and how that might affect things and whatnot. But yeah, I think that's sort of how it's looking. Let me know your thoughts. Are you going for the fusion? What is your plan? Particularly, I think the big question is Summon Rush event and Champ Chase. How are you going to assign your shards? And why are you going to do that? Oh, I should also mention, final thing, which is something that is unique to these fragment fusions. Well, number one, of course, he's a fragment. Here he is. You obviously, he's not a fusion. You can't use your fusion tokens, and you won't earn a fusion token from this one. Pretty sure those are only from fusions in the fusion tab. Because he's a fragment, you're not going to get that stuff. But because he is a fragment, it is a sneaky strategy you can do if you are a spender. Spenders only. If you miss, I think if you've got 50 fragments for a fragment fusion, they will offer you the opportunity to purchase the rest of those fragments. Now, it's expensive. I think it might be $2 per fragment. So if you're missing 10, it might be $20, right? So let's say you could, in theory, skip the 15 fragments here and then buy them. If you go, oh, the champion chase is actually awful, I'll skip it. I'll buy 15 fragments for $30. Is that a good way to spend $30? That's up to you. I think it's highly debatable, but if that is something that you're interested in doing, it can be a cool strategy. And during these fragment things, if there's a really bad summon event, you can skip it. And like, especially for a big spender, like if you spend your shards on a bad, like let's say the summon event sucks, the summon rush or the champ, imagine these summon events suck and you end up pulling a bunch of shards for them and then they drop something really juicy afterwards. If you're a big spender and you're going, oh, well, I'd just buy the shards for that then anyway, that might end up costing you way more money than doing this. I think that's a slippery slope to go down of, you know, I'm saving money by spending money on a video game. That's a bad, you know, but you get the gist. It is at least worth noting, and it's not something that you can do with a typical fusion because you need to fuse the stuff up. But yeah, they will, usually it's up for 24 hours. You can buy the fragments. I think I've done it maybe once. Oh, also, final tip. So many tips. Save your relic materials. I believe there is a new, hang on, let me find this. Yeah, how do I disable offshore? Sorry, I'm blocking it. But I'm moving the wrong thing. Move me. Shout out to Offshore 1989. There is a new quest, and now I'm blocking it again. A new quest. Craft 1 relic at the forge for 500 starstone. That is a great quest to get the rewards for, but this is a quest you might find yourself unable to do. So stockpile your stuff. Like, and again, genuinely, these rare things, they're worthless, right? They're never getting anything really good out of the. I tell a lie. I suppose the faction wars ones are pretty good. You can get Arachne Elixir, but generally these rare ones really suck. There's very little opportunity cost to stockpiling them to make sure you've got the quest. But yeah, this quest, that's a juicy reward. Thanks for the shout out there, Offshore. The info, you definitely want to have it stockpiled so you can do this quest. I haven't seen that quest myself. Yeah, I haven't seen it myself, but gosh, you really want to make sure you do that quest. So do not craft your at least have a good stockpile of epic and rare, certainly rare materials if you can. Save them up and try to only craft those relics when you can also get the quest done. And then when you've got a good stockpile of relics, then you can start crafting a bit willy-nilly. And we'll see, maybe they improve relic crafting at some point this year. They did say they would, but then they stopped talking about it at all, so who knows, right? Maybe end of the year, I don't know. Anyway, tons of info. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts. If I missed anything, it's possible, let me know, and I'll see you next time. Woo! Oh, and yeah, don't forget about the show thingy on May 8th, or the 8th of May 8th, God, turning into a flippin' American. Holy shit. Watching too much YouTube. On the 8th of May. I'll see you guys for that. Goodbye.